coming forward. Just about set, and they're racing away, and Ships at Sea lost ground at the start, was slow away. So Dutcher and Twice a Saint began well with Uncle George, who's up there in the early part. Equestrian Affair circling runners, Mo Caesar. Wider out is Vuvuzela Umlilo. It's been kept really wide out in the early stages and trying to track across now, and then came Clap of Thunder in behind those. Rogue Male, Le Bonheur, Maximus Marmaladus. Hot Ice is racing keenly. Douglas Devastator's 8 or 9 lengths off the leader and a long way back to Ships at Sea, who's the trailer. Heading down towards the 1,000-meter marker, and So Dutcher picked up the advantage now. So Dutcher led by 2 lengths or so. From in second, Vuvuzela Umlilo's come across to the fence now. Hot Ice is racing behind that. Mo Caesar. In behind those Equestrian Affair. Then Twice a Saint's got 5 lengths to track down with Uncle George and Maximus Marmaladus. In behind those is Clap of Thunder's got 6 lengths to make up. Le Bonheur towards the inside. And further back in the field, down towards the inside of those is Douglas Devastator's on the far inside of the track. 500 to go, So Dutch is tackled by Equestrian Affair. Vuvuzela Umlilo. Douglas Devastator's got 2 to find. Twice a Saint is towards the outside, with also running on behind that Clap of Thunder and Uncle George. Heading to the last 200, Douglas Devastator moves up strongly to Equestrian Affair. Then came Vuvuzela Umlilo. It's Equestrian Affair, Douglas Devastator. These two set to do battle. Equestrian Affair, Douglas Devastator. Equestrian Affair's pulling it out a little bit more though, and Equestrian Affair went on to be Douglas Devastator. 3 lengths away, Vuvuzela Umlilo, Uncle George 4th, and Twice a Saint 5th, followed by Clap of Thunder. Actually, was effectively pulled out of the race at the closing stages here. Le Bonheur, who was checked by the vet and been passed fit to race. So that's the second race of the day. Equestrian Affair has gone on. The son of Rafif, who was bred by Fulkerbos Drift and Maritzfontein, showed a lot of heart as Douglas Devastator loomed up and looking like he was going to go past, but Equestrian Affair found that little bit extra to win it. Well done to JP van der Merwe and Gavin Smith. They're the winners of race 2.
Welcome back, and Gavin Smith opens his account this afternoon. JP van der Merwe, a jockey I've been following throughout the country every week when he goes around, and I tell you what, he is really riding so well. So JP, before we even get to this ride, well done to you. You're doing a sterling job out there, and a lot of people are sitting up and taking notice.
Thank you.
There we go. So Kaya's Stables, Mrs. Laidlaw's colours, and they contribute so much to racing. Tell us about the winner here, Equestrian Affair. I made it quite a competitive race. There were a lot of horses with chances. How did you find the running of the race?
Yes, not bad Joburg form. Joburg's obviously much stronger than PE. Never the best of draws, a little bit hot in the gates as well. But we ended up with a beautiful position. The pace was nice and honest, not too hard, just nice. And then got into the shade, gave him a nice clear run from as soon as I got into the shade, and he just enjoyed it. Kept a stick off him for as long as possible. When I saw all the creeping on my inside, I said, okay, it's time to go. Obviously, well done to the whole team, well done to the car stable.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you really had to dig deep there because Aldo was challenging. It made for a good race so early on in the day as well. So there's definitely more to come. Moving to Post, not the most free-striding horse. How did you see it?
Yeah, I thought he was actually looking around a little bit too much. Obviously, his first run here, so obviously he will look around a little bit. Yeah, but like you said, he wasn't really holding the bits and then going down, but he was more looking around a little bit. But otherwise, his action was good.
All right, now I want to ask you, I know you got a couple of runners on the day. Anything from your side that you think's got a chance?
I actually thought he's probably my best for today.
Okay.
The rest out there, open, but we're trying.
All right, you're trying. I'm going to talk to Gavin about a runner that I fancy on the day in a short while. Well done to you. There we go. So that's JP. We're going to put a bit of more pressure on Gavin about a run a little bit later on as well. Gavin, top class. Well done. You'll be happy with that. Shahan Malad will be happy with that. And Lady Laidlaw as well.
Definitely, Neil. He's a lovely horse, and he came a good nick from Mark. He's been doing good work at home, and I thought he'd enjoy our galloping course, long running, and he won accordingly.
The lovely looking individuals Shahan obviously has a lot to do with the buying of these horses, and he's always had a top eye, and well chosen, I think, and we're going to have a bit more fun here.
Yeah, well, they choose top horses and they've got good eyes. They've been around for years doing what they do, and I think he's a top horse that's going to train on, just give him a little bit of time to mature, Neil.
All right, bred out at Wilgeborst and Maritzfontein as well. Now, you've got a couple of runners. I'm not going to go through all of them. Nadine and I were chatting early on today when we did the summing up of how we see the day. And in race 7, I think Atkinson Grimshaw is a lively each-way chance. How do you see it go?
I totally agree with you, Neil. He's his own worst enemy. You know, if he if he has antics at the gates like last time he was playing up and he reared up as the gates pulled and he lost his race at the start, but he still ran an absolute cracker to come from so far back to go down a short head. You know, and other times he plays up in the gates and he pings the gates and he's out and they can't settle him.
Okay.
You know, so it totally depends on what
Touch and
Atkinson
go.
Grimshaw comes to the races today. We try to keep him as calm as possible, but he has got better over the months that we've had him, and his work and everything at home's good, and you know, he's got a galloping weight today.
What don't we leave out the pick six that starts in the next race, Gavin, that you think, even if it's 16-1 or 14-1, I know you've got a host of runners, I can't go through all of them, what do you think is really worthwhile including?
I would have said him, Atkinson, and then I wouldn't leave out maybe Modern Magician as well. It's got a shout in that type of field. Burning Moon's got a shout in her
I
type
like a
of
bit
a
of
race.
Burning Moon, yeah.
And Fly Better's a nice quartet was in the next.
We really appreciate it, Gavin. Thanks so much for what you do for racing.
Absolute pleasure. Well done to breeders. Volker Jeff Maritzfontein, and a big thank you to Lady Laidlaw. Lovely to have another winner for her, and to Johan, thanks for the support.
All right, there we go. And let's not forget the sponsors. I think they're still involved there with Hollywood Bets, if I'm not mistaken. So there we go. Dean's giving me a nod in the background as well. Thanks to everybody involved. The winner from the Gavin Smith stable. And let's not forget the pick six is coming up next.